one of the things I think the problem in the Democratic Party is that their main figures, not all of them, again, because there's people like Bernie. I actually think Mayor Pete's fine. Like, there's some people that are like living in reality. And then we have Michelle Obama, who I have always liked. I thought she was like a classy lady. I liked her when she was first lady, found her like very inoffensive. There was a period of time where she, like, data wise, like, could have easily run for president and gotten elected. She has decided to do this very strange podcast tour where all she does is complain about everything. I want to show this clip number 8, please.
Many people don't know. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the first lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel.
Okay, so just to put things in perspective, Michelle Obama earns $225,000 a speech. She and President Obama had a $65 million book deal. They have a $100 million Netflix deal. They own a $30 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard, a house in Chicago, a house in Los Angeles, house in DC, and I'm sure a lot more than is reported. This is extremely tone deaf, And also you make, I believe it's $400,000 as president, which, is not millions, but it's not nothing. I showed this clip to some friends of mine who work in politics, and they were absolutely flabbergasted that she's speaking this way. What's your reaction to this, Sina?
I didn't know that you had to pay for these things. So that was the first piece of news for me. And honestly, I don't mind. I think Michelle Obama went through the ringer when she was in the White House. She had to deal with a birther movement that was claiming that her husband was not born in this country. And so I don't really mind, honestly. Maybe that's like against that, but I don't really mind her complaining about this stuff. It did honestly make me think, is Trump paying for any of these things, or is the American taxpayer just getting a bill every time he goes to Mar-a-Lago?
He is, and he's not taking a paycheck.
Yeah.
Like,
so but at the same time, I think it is, I don't know, that piece of, I was like attached to the fact that that was the way things worked. I just assumed they had to pay for nothing and they got the $400K. That was always my impression. So I actually don't mind her complaining. Complain away. You had the largest wave of racism come at you when you were in the White House. Albeit, if you want to spend the rest of your days being upset about how much you had to sacrifice to be the first lady, to the first black president, God bless. I can't imagine what that life was like. And if there's anyone that I want to be wealthy and with a huge book deal, it's the Obamas at the end of the day.
Miranda, do you agree with me or do you agree with Sina?
I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I mean, doesn't everybody have to pay for their own travel and stuff when, whatever, when you go places? So is anybody forcing them to go, and why couldn't they ride with the president? But at the same time, like to Sina's point, there are still people who think she's a man. So, and she gets all that weird, bizarre Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think she put it on her Amex and got the Amex points and then got it reimbursed? Do you think that those points are good points? Those are good points.
I think the only thing to push back on, you guys, is that the Obamas were treated with, like, I think the original sin of where our media got so off course with how we cover presidents started with the Obamas, where literally, like, I know that, like, in the real world, there was a lot of obvious racism. No one would ever say different. There was, really hideous things said about both of them. There's really hideous things said about President Trump and his family as well. It's obviously not racially motivated.
George W. Bush too, and how he's stupid and a drug addict and all that stuff too. So every president
it's why they call it serving. Like, and I think, and this isn't the only clip of her, there's like many all over the internet. She has some very weird things talking about how 10 years of your marriage, you should expect to be horrible. Just like expect that 10 full years. I'm not conceding that. Like, that's insane, I think. I think she should stop complaining in this economic time. I think when you like have as much money as they do, and this is like a Meghan Markle issue too. It's like, I just don't feel bad for them. It's like all they do is like yacht on David Geffen's yacht, and they are not helping their party by doing this.